Hello everyone, and welcome to the Digimon Dreamers video. This time we're going to be reading through the latest chapter of Digimon Dreamers, which is chapter 19, and it's in the May 2023 issue of Saikyo Jump. So before we get into it, we do have the obligatory commercials for upcoming Digimon products that we have. So first of all, we get a look at the Dragonic Blaze Dim, which is coming out later this month, along with the new BE, and of course it also comes with the Rampage of the Beast Dim. So it's more or less kind of like a Digimon Savers Dim card, and it has Digimon that previously won the polls. So these are the adventure mission unlocks that won a fan vote. I've mentioned before, but I'm slightly disappointed that it's so linear, how we just have Gumdramon, an Arrestodramon, and Arrestodramon Superior Mode. And at least the other Dim has a fairly more, or less connected evolution path. And then we also get some information about Digimon Seekers, which just started this month. It's a Digimon web novel, and I've mentioned it on the channel before. So if you want more information, check out my other videos on Digimon Seekers. So let's take a look at chapter 19 of Digimon Dreamers. So it continues on from when we left off. We have Pulsemon and Devimon battling. So Pulsemon's just punched him. And Ritsu's like, "Yay, you did it, Pulsemon! You did it, pal!" Then Ritsu says that that was the most impressive electrical fist that he's ever seen. And Pulsemon is kind of, he's like, "Yay!" He's kind of a little bit fading out. And then he collapses. And then Ritsu's calling out, "Pal!" Which is dog food, which is interesting. And I know it's pal as in friend, but I keep on hearing it like the dog food brand. And Wizamon is sort of saying, as expected, that the magical buff that I gave him really kind of took it out of him. It took a lot of his strength out. And Ritsu's like, pal, wake up. And then we have Pulsemon's stomach going, grrrg, which is like, it's gurgling, he's hungry. He's like, "Oh, Ritsu, meat." And Ritsu's like, you're out of energy. So he's saying this will certainly give you your electric shock back. And then we have Pulsemon eating his meat, and he's saying he's recovering. And then Pulsemon's like, "Oh yeah, well what happened to Devimon?" And Wizamon explains that he escaped back to the castle, where they then go, and the door is open. And Wizamon's then saying that this is Philemon's castle, we're finally here, let's go. And everyone's, Ritsu's kind of like, why is everyone looking so determined? He's reasonably freaked out about this. Meanwhile, we have Philemon's with a very kind of weirdly shaped structure there, saying, kind of shaming Devimon a little bit for just escaping, and it's kind of smeared the name of the demon Shout. He's kind of a little bit, it's not very impressive. He kind of has this giant power, and he was defeated, and he had to run back to the castle. And then Philemon's like, "Let me see your face." I'm assuming that's it. Feels like he's saying that. It can also be, "I'll show you my face." I'm fairly certain it's "let me see your face," because he then grabs Devimon's face and then says that he'll show this attack called Dark Claw. No, Death Claw, sorry. So he does that, and we get blood smear there. And Devimon's head is now kind of digitizing away. And then he grabs it again, and it's kind of horrifying. Ritsu sees this, and he's like, "What? How cruel?" And then Philemon kind of fully reveals himself to be fairly threatening, and he's like, you've arrived, Wizardmon. And he's like, yes, now? And then we have Pulsemon doing Pulsemon things by saying, hey, you're the one who stole all the knowledge from the world, and you need to return everyone's knowledge of Witchenly back. And then Phalesmon mockingly says how it was really easy to get control over everyone because everyone's really stupid. And then we have Pulsemon kind of saying, more or less, it takes one to know one. He's calling Phalesmon stupid. And then Phalesmon, off screen, is saying, who are you calling stupid? And then Pulsemon's arm that was just becoming Bulkmon's fades. He's kind of a little bit weak still. And then Wizardmon says that he'll take this fight. This one's his battle to do. And he says, Phalesmon, this time you'll be the one to be defeated. And I'll take that knowledge back that you stole. And Phalesmon's amused by this, and he's like, no, this time you'll also be defeated. Phalesmon is attacked by Wizardmon, and Tailmon, who is kind of a little bit annoying, is always pointing out things like, Wizardmon, be careful, he's got the demon shout. And he's like, that's the same thing you used last time, and Phalesmon's like, what? And then he attacks, and we have Wizardmon using his shield, and then they continue to fight. Wizardmon gets up in the air, and everyone's fairly impressed by this. Ritsu's like, an aerial attack. And then we have Phalesmon saying that he's still going to be no match for his demon shout and calls him shallow. And then he's about to use his demon shout. We have Tailmon being concerned, and then a splash of blood. However, that was Wizardmon attacking Phalesmon, and Phalesmon being kind of shocked by it. Then Wizardmon says that he was able to counterattack it this time. He's more or less learned how to fight because the demon shout's always the same. And then he says that Phalesmon is the one that's shallow. And Ritsu's like, as expected of Wizardmon. And then that's the end of chapter 19. So it really looks like the story is finishing up, where I would say the final battle. I'm now wondering if Pulsemon will just never evolve, or he'll just evolve for the last chapter just to say, hey look, the curse is lifted, I can evolve now. But that's just what I'm assuming. I think it'll probably be done in maybe 3 chapters or something, but then again, I've been wrong before, I've been known to be wrong, but that's it for chapter 19. Let me know your thoughts, comments and questions about Digimon Dreamers this chapter or any of the previous chapters so far. If you're watching this and you're like, I think I've missed something, check out all my other Digimon Dreamers videos on this channel. Like this video for my desktop robot in the background that I forgot to power off before recording, and you probably heard her chatter to me. I've got many videos on her. She's called the Emo. Love her very much. And subscribe if you haven't already, and if you have subscribed, tell your friends, tell your family, tell your neighbours. And of course, I'll see you in the next video. Bye!